Hey everybody, welcome to this week's live stream. Hope you're all doing good today. So we are going to turn up one of the triple Helix pen blanks. I'm super excited about this. So let me switch camera views so you can see these blanks. Oh my goodness. These things are looking pretty cool. It's kind of hard to see the Helix on the outside because there is a little bit of resin, you know, but man, I mean, this is going to be really cool. It just spirals all the way around it. I think these are going to be pretty sweet. You guys picked some awesome colors as well. I'm actually really digging the way these pink and white ones look. Those are pretty good. All right, so those are the blanks, and I decided I wanted to do one of these multicolored ones. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to turn up a cigar style pen, and I can't wait to see. So we went with, so we did a couple. If you missed Wednesday's stream, we did the first round, we did just 4 colors, solids. So we had like kind of a light blue, a purple, red, and a blurple mix with starlight glitter. And then these ones, the multicolored, are those 4 colors just poured all together, you know, in the tube. And then the final one, we did a couple of pink and whites and some golds. And these guys have red 3D prints in them. It's kind of hard to see on the sides right here, but you can kind of see on the ends there's red in there. So that's kind of neat looking. So we'll have to see how all those work out. These are going to be probably going into the mystery boxes. So this is what we got, and I thought let's try gold. I'm not usually a huge fan of gold kits, but I decided let's just see how this goes. I think it'll match up okay. Typically I'm more of a silver, or, you know, like chrome or whatever person, but let's give gold a shot. Maybe it'll be golden. I don't know. Let's see. So who was here first? Yak was here first. What's up, man? And Mike. Malachi's here. And Gene. Nice. Lelia's here. And let's see. Is anyone else? Anyone else sneak in? And Alex is here. What's up, man? Sweet. And Welsh Piper. And Lee. Sorry, I'm missing, and Kim. I'm missing everybody. I think I got everybody at this point. So I know that I'm kind of competing with the all-day event. I didn't realize that was happening. They didn't tell me. So sorry about that. We'll try and kind of hurry up so you guys can go over and watch the rest of the streams over there. But I think let's get over to the lathe and start turning. Oh, before we get over to the lathe, oh my God. So if you want to print out the triple Helix, and so I'm gonna go grab a print so you can see what exactly this thing looks like before we even begin. So if you want to buy the STL file to print your own triple Helix models, this one. So again, this is what it looks like. You can just drop this straight into a 3/4 inch PVC pipe, pour some resin, and you're good to go. And you can adjust the sizes and all that, like the length, and you could even expand this and make it bigger if you wanted to in your slicing program. But anyway, that is available, the print file. So not the models, okay, not actual physical objects. It's the file so that if you have a 3D printer, you can print it out yourself. Those are available on my website. There we go. There's a link. And I got links down in the description to the pen kits at Turner's Warehouse and most of the turning tools and things that I used or am going to be using on the stream here. Those are down in the description. So I think that's about it. Let's see. Ow. My wrist is messed up. It's kind of hard to hold a mouse like at a weird angle when you're standing up. I just realized that. All right, so let's head over to the lathe and what am I doing? The Canon cam. Canon cam. Okay. Now, one thing that's kind of nice on these is you don't really need a whole lot. You just need to make sure that the 2 sides that are going to connect line up. But we actually have some pretty good marks to line up when we're going to assemble the pen. I mean, we'll probably be able to see it too, but there are pretty easy marks on the inside, so that's kind of nice. All right, so we're doing the between center bushings. and the between center setup here on the lathe. All you need is a dead center, a live center, and then your TBC bushings, turning between centers. You need to lock your tailstock or else it's never gonna hold your stuff. There we go. Okay, let's get rolling. So what's everybody up to today? Everybody having a good time, working on something? Oh, there I am. I'm talking. It's like a double feedback loop. You don't even have a 3D printer yet. Well, you're going to be ready when you get it. They're pretty easy to do. The resin printing, so far, here's the big thing that I've found. When I first started out with the resin printer, I was doing like adding dyes and stuff. I hadn't even figured out how to use the thing. And that was a little bit more difficult because you can't really go off of settings that people kind of, like the starting settings, recommended settings and all that. It changes the game quite a bit when you're adding stuff in there. But if you just go with these ones are just white, white or clear or red or, those things are without anything else in them. Generally, I've been having pretty good success 3D printing stuff, just like I said, just using the resins that are out there. Now that's not super awesome if you want a specific color, that's one of the problems with resin 3D printing is there aren't very many colors out there. But that's why we're kind of going, things like this where it's just, swoops or, little lines and things. That's not so bad. You can use white, you can use the black. Sometimes I find the black actually is very transparent and ends up kind of disappearing on you, but white is a good one. What am I doing here? Trying to get everything ready here. Sorry. Been working on a fudge round. I'd be how you would be. Nice. Yeah, you should be able to adjust the STL file in your slicer if you want. I mean, I don't know what you'd have to kind of play around with it to get the right dimension. But 3/4, I mean, you should be able to multiply it by, the diameter by, 2, I guess. And that should give you a 1.5, Cleaning and organizing the shop, cleaned up the casting area, nice. Yeah, one of these days I need to clean my shop. Okay, so enough talk. Let's get this thing rolling here. I can't wait to see how these things turn out. All right, I'm gonna stop it because I kind of want to see if we can see those helixes more. Oh yeah, that's wicked. Let's get you guys zoomed in here. Oh man, look at that. Look at that, and it goes all the way around. Woo! This was a good file. This was a really good one. Nikki did. Nikki hasn't done anything that wasn't good yet. These are sweet. So again, like with the white, just a solid color. I mean, it's just an accent. So the white resin is a good one. If you wanted different colors, though, like I've kind of said before, well, if you're doing like the regular, FDM style printers, ones that spit out the filament, like melt it and then deposit it, there's tons and tons of colors, that way. My problem is I wasn't particularly pleased with how those materials, at least the ones that I've tried so far, turned. They were very brittle. And I think for something like this, where you're just talking about thin lines. Something like this where it's just a thin kind of line of material, that's really not that bad. It's when you start printing things that are like a solid mass, whoa, that was way close, like these clovers, that's where it just becomes terrible, because it's just laying down this kind of thin blob of goo, you know, plastic, and it just isn't like a solid piece, whereas it turns out on the resin printing that this piece is pretty solid. And it turns very similarly to just Alumilite, you know, resin, casting resin. There are some brittle UV, you know, the 3D printing resins. I've been getting good results with the ABS-like from Elegoo. That's my kind of preferred resin. Actually, Chidu Systems contacted me, and I think they're going to be sending me some of their resins too. They just came out with some, I guess. So that's kind of interesting. I don't know how I popped up on their radar. They're like, "Oh, we really enjoy your projects," and I'm like, my like 2 videos that have like not very many views on them about 3D printing. That's cool though. If they want to send me free resin, I'll try it out. I do know there's some newer materials, since I used to do FDM style. I have an FDM style printer, and I used to do that with my blanks. Like the pinstripe blank, that's what I started with. I stopped making, oh, is that thing way zoomed in? Sorry about that. I stopped doing that. I just kind of got tired of it. People were having troubles turning them, and I just got tired of responding to emails saying it's up to you, you got to turn it right. You know, these ones I'm a lot more confident with, but that was probably like 2 or 3 years ago when I kind of stopped really paying attention to anything in the FDM style world. So there might be new materials out there. I know there's like tough PLA. I don't know if anybody's tried that out. That might be a little bit more, or let's just say a little less brittle. For turning. I don't know. I used to use ABS on my blanks, and it turned reasonably well. But it heated up. When you were drilling it, you had to really watch out with that stuff. It would heat up, and that's one of the reasons I think people had problems with my pinstripe blanks, is they're drilling it and they're heating, like way overheating the blank, that ABS plastic in there. And what they didn't realize was it would cause the material to separate from the resin, casting resin. And then they'd try and turn it, and it would just blow up. So you had to take, like, you know, at the most a 1/4 inch depth drill pass. I'm going kind of slow today. Let's speed it up a little bit. All right, we're getting there. My cutter's a little bit dull. Let me turn my cutter. This doesn't seem to be taking material off. Hey, there's Nikki. Check this out. Isn't that cool? It is so cool looking. Super awesome. These things are sweet. Paul's here too. What's up? Nice. That's a good way to beat the quarantine, Daniel. Just go to the shop. Getting a lathe soon. Nice. All right, so let's. So like I said, this cutter is just not really doing it for me. So I'm gonna move. It's this side's good. This side was like meh. So I'm gonna rotate my cutter. See if I can get a little bit more life out of this thing. Hopefully. All right, so let's try this. Let's see what we got here. There we go. That's cutting now. Oh yeah. I was like forcing it into the blank before. Okay. I think we're pretty good on the bushings actually. Yeah, that's meeting up pretty well. That one's a little bit thick. I do want to make this a little bit more of a taper. All right, I think that's pretty good. Just a quick little pass there. I think we're ready to do a little bit of sanding. Who's excited for sanding? I am. Least favorite part. A Celtic knot. Perhaps. Problem with Celtic knots is the way that they really work is you got to cut the blank and then like kind of overlap things. So I don't know. Kinda, but to get the right look, I don't know that it would work. It's hard for me to kind of think about that though, like in my brain, you know. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna try and start at 400 grit because I did a pretty good job. It seemed pretty smooth, but we'll find out in a second here. See where all my tool marks are. Yeah, pretty good. If you can get the smoother you can get the blank, I mean obviously you're going to save time not having to sand as long, but I also think that you just get better results in general because you're not putting those kind of low grit, deeper scratches in to start off that you got to take out. There's just, the more grits you go through, the longer you're sanding, the more chance of leaving, you know, a sanding mark in. So if you can start at a finer grit, you're better off. I'm gonna get a new piece of 400 grit. That's just not really working so hot. Sharp tools are the best tools. I'm not focused? Oh. There. You're really not missing a whole lot on the sanding though. The sanding is so exciting. Thanks, Kevin. Gotta give all the credit to Nikki on this one though. These prints are sweet. All right, I think that's probably pretty good. Let's move up to the wet sanding step. First, I'm going to wipe this off with a little bit of denatured alcohol just to get rid of any extra debris might be lingering. I like to just blow it off first and hit it with some alcohol. Water might work the same, I don't know. I just actually have alcohols more readily available in my shop than water typically, but okay. Let me turn this thing off, that's nice. Sham wow. Sham whoa. Okay, we'll get our wet sanding implements out. Thing wet here. And we'll do a little bit of work with our Zona papers. Again, all the links, you know, to the tool that I was using, the carbide tool, Zona paper, the TBC setup, sandpaper, the Abernet that I used, all that kind of stuff is in the description. And you can always find links to the stuff that I use regularly, resin casting and turning and all that kind of stuff on my website under the tools I use section. That's in the menu. And it's broken into different categories. We finally kind of separated it out. It was a little bit hard to navigate before. It was just this long list, you know, with a couple headings. Now it's kind of broken into like, you know, machines and, you know, resin casting stuff and all that. So there's different categories to make it a little bit easier to navigate and find exactly what you're looking for. And the other thing is I also have the video equipment as well as live streaming equipment broken down on there that I use too. So if you're ever curious, simple answer for like regular videos, for the most part, I use an iPhone. The easiest way to go. You can get all fancy, but I mean, I'm not generally going for a blockbuster film. And frankly, I mean, a good iPhone. I have the iPhone 13 Pro, I think is whatever the newest one is, Pro. I got to be honest. I mean, I've used DSLR cameras in the past, and my phone takes better video than I can do generally. So with manual settings and all that. Maybe some of the new fancy cameras, but you already got an iPhone. They work pretty good, or whatever kind of phone. Not using a lot of pressure here. I'm just kind of trying to let the abrasive do the work. Okay, I think that's good with that one. Move to the gray guy. So the green one is about 7. I tried to convert it from microns to an equivalent sandpaper grit. And I think it's around like, the green one's around P750. And the gray one's around 1150. Somewhere in that neighborhood, I think. All right. Let's wipe this off. We'll hit it with some magic juice. We'll get the second half done. First, let's get you guys the close-up view. Oh, we got cords. I don't think I need this thing plugged in. Okay, no, that helped totally. All right, so get this thing, where are we at? Where's the pen? There it is. Oh. Wow. That's looking pretty good. Ooh. All right, magic juice time. The juice is loose. Somebody posted, where was, people were talking about, I think maybe Turner's Warehouse did a post, or somebody posted about like finishes, and I think it might have been Jake. Jake did a video on different finishes, and he tried using magic juice on like a handle size blank, but he did it with like a paste. What was the other one? Paste. The Doctor's something finish, I think. Basically, like it was like a paste, like it was Yorkshire grit, magic juice, and then like a friction polish, basically. And many people really liked the magic juice. And in his test, the magic juice is actually the shiniest, I think, which was kind of cool. Yeah, you guys pick good colors on these ones. Good mix. I really like the Blurple with the chunky starlight glitter. That was a pretty good choice. Was that Kim? I think Kim picked that. All right, so get our magic juice, make sure the camera's set up reasonably well. All right, so if you're not familiar with it, magic juice is just polishing. There's 6 steps. You just go through, add a little bit. So far, this has probably been, I mean, I've been getting the best results out of anything that I've tried, I think, consistently. They're very shiny with this stuff, and it's a pretty quick process. And I talked to Michael Harden when I was at the SoCal event, and just asked him about speeds and different stuff, and he basically said he finds the best way to go is, you know, actually spin it up to like 2,500 and use very light pressure. So I've been doing that. It's been working pretty good. I didn't get bad results obviously before, but I just want to make sure that I'm getting the best results possible, you know? So that's what he said. I mean, that's step number 1. I mean, I could literally walk away at this point. That's awesome right there, you know? So let's go to number 2 now. Wow. Of course, you know, you got to start with a good base. You got to do good sanding prep first, but you know, these things are pretty simple. Another thing that I've switched to is I'm using these the blue paper towels now. I was using the what is it, Bounty paper towels, and they're a little bit abrasive. Honestly, they're a little bit rough. And I was asking him about that too, and he said, yeah, you know, you're better off using something a little bit softer. And these shop towels are I'm pretty sure he said that these are kind of pretty soft. They're fairly a good choice. But when you get to like the super high levels, you know, you might be better off grabbing something that's like a non-abrasive type of a cloth or something. right. Done with step 3. Let's move on to step 4. Christopher's here. What's up? South Africa, nice. Yeah, we'll definitely keep the replay up if you missed anything or want to watch something, you know, watch it back. Oops, get this thing rolling here. We didn't miss much. We just did this first half of the blanks or of the pen so far. All right, step 5. Let's get this going here. Yeah, I did print this blank. Nikki made the models. She makes the models for me, and then I printed it. And then we cast it on the last live stream. Yeah, if you have a 3D printer, I have the files available for purchase. And there's links down in the description to all of them. I got quite a few at this point, and more coming all the time. That stand, it's actually, I think, a Grizzly product. There's a few different ones that you can see. I think I just picked it up on Amazon though. I gotta be honest, it was pretty expensive. It's kind of a piece of junk. I think if you got time, I mean, you can just make a stand that'll do this. Do the same thing, and it's gonna cost a lot less and probably be a lot more sturdy. The bolt, the thing that holds the post to whatever height you want, stripped out, the threads did. And so now I'm just shoving a bolt through. It's kind of janky, and it was pretty expensive. I don't know. But if it is useful. It's pretty decent, but you can find things like that. Just search for like lathe. What did I search for? Lathe dust collector stand, I think. All right, so big reveal, man. This thing is, I can see it spinning. It's like super gloss. Craziness. Here we go, and we'll stop it and then rotate it. Look at this. Whoo, man. I mean, it looks like candy. Looks like a hard candy, kind of. Look at those colors. That is just juicy. It looks wet still. That's what I like about the Magic Juice. It really kind of keeps that wet look on your pen blanks. Pretty sweet. It's super glossy. Like a mirror. See my reflection. All right, so we got the first half done. Second half ready to roll here. All right, let me stop real quick and see. So I'm turning around. I go for pens. I recommend just maxing out your lathe. Like 35, most lathes go to like 3,000, 3,500. That's what I turn at. Although I will say the Nova Galaxy, their DVR motors, some of them can go up to like 5,000. I don't know that you need to go that fast necessarily. 3,000, 3,500 is good. 2,500, whatever your lathe can do. And then sanding, I usually have the speed around like 500 or so. The big thing with that is you just need to make sure that you're not overheating the blank and like causing the dust, you know, the swarf, let's say, or whatever, the stuff, the material coming off that you're sanding. You don't want that piling up because you can end up kind of burnishing scratches into the plastic. So you just got to be careful about heat and build up on your paper. But like 500, I mean, some people swear that, you know, you can just sand at 3,000. My biggest problem with that is I used to do that, and I don't think there's a huge problem. I think it's going to sand. The problem is, though, if it's going really fast, what I've found in the past is it can kind of make the paper kind of bounce. Like, I don't know, if there's any kind of imperfections or weird or like density differences, you know, like in this case, we have slightly different densities between the 3D print. It's pretty close in this case, but like, you know, if you had like a super hard wood and then resin or like a softer kind of wood and resin, I find that it can kind of buff it around a little bit more if it's spinning super fast. I think you're better off going slower. Most people would agree with that too. But you know, how slow you have to go, I don't know. 500 seems pretty good for me. And then yeah, 2,500 or so, 2,000, 2,500 is what they recommend for the magic juice. And like I said, light pressure, you also don't want to cause excessive heat. You know, this isn't like a friction polish. It doesn't need to be hot or anything. You're just, you know, applying it. So pretty light pressure, what I would consider fairly light pressure, is all you need. And since getting those tips from Michael, I've actually been getting better results, even better results with the magic juice. Just, you know, light pressure is all you really need. All right, so let's see here. Recommend a lathe for a beginner. You know, I gotta be honest, any lathe is gonna work, you know, for the most part. It kind of boils down to what features do you want. For me, I'm going to turn the lathe off. It's a tough question because you know, it really, the main thing is it depends on your budget, I think, is probably going to be like the first question. But one of the things that I really don't like is having to switch, like not having a variable speed dial where, you know, a lathe may have, so I started on the Comet. All right, so the Nova Comet, sitting right over there. And what I liked about this one, I'm not saying that you should go and buy this one or anything, but what I liked about this one is for a mini lathe, it had a variable speed dial, but it does have 3 belt choices. And for the most part, you could, for most things, you could leave it on the middle belt and then just use your variable. I really like the variable speed dial thing. There are some super cheap lathes out there that you have to change the belt. Like you only get, there's no variable at all. You have to change the belt, and to me, I find that to be just horrible. There's only like 8 speeds, and there's nothing in between, kind of thing, you know. And you have to open up the thing, move the belt over every time you want to switch, you know. So in this case, you know, you'd have to start it at the high belt, and then to sand, you'd have to stop the thing and then move it down to like the low belt or whatever. And it's just all that messing around is not very fun. I really like having a full-size lathe because I don't even change anything on the belts. Unless I was turning a massive bowl, I would put it on the low speed, but I don't have to do that. So that's one thing. I think variable speed is very helpful for most people, I would say. Other than that, I mean, you just want something that's solid. You don't want something that's kind of, you know, that's like, that, you know, things move or anything like that. One of the good ones that I've turned on a couple of them, I think it was the Herald, I want to say, is the Record Power lathes. They got some pretty good ones. They're not necessarily cheap or anything like that, but they're pretty solid. Even their smaller size ones, it's a very solid machine. And I think most of them, I think they're all variable speed. So that's not a bad way to go, you know. But I mean, just, yeah, Mike McEwen was saying that, yeah, 1,000 pounds. I mean, yeah, most people, I'm sure you watch Jamie Page's channel, right? I mean, he's got one. I mean, it's a great little lathe. And in fact, I mean, Chad over at Turner's Warehouse, they have a few set up that they use all the time, and they love them, you know, so a good brand. I like Laguna, you know, I mean, I've been really happy. They got a lot of really good lathes. Their mini lathe is a really good one. Definitely not cheap. It's like a high-end mini lathe, but that one's awesome. I don't know that there's a lathe in the Laguna lineup that's not good. I don't particularly like the new Nova lathes. They're kind of, I had a Galaxy. I didn't really like it. It had a great motor. Everything else about it was terrible. So it was just kind of junky. And I kind of feel the same way even about the drill press. They really focus on the motor, and that's about it. Everything else is just pretty low, kind of low quality stuff. I don't know about if I could recommend them. The Comet was pretty decent, but I think that stepping up a few $100s more, you get a lot more lathe with a lot more features, kind of thing. So I don't know. It just depends. My biggest, I think what I would recommend for most people is if you can maybe join a club or get out, try a buddies, you know, and just kind of test a couple out. I mean, I think that goes a long way to seeing, you know, what do you want in a lathe, you know, in a sense. There may be a few things. Usually, if things are annoying, they're going to be annoying right off the bat. You know, you can find out what really that you want to avoid in a lathe, let's say. All right, so I'll stop talking. Let's turn. All right, let's see how this half is looking so far. Zoom you guys in a little bit. Oh, yeah. I think this is going to be really neat because you can line it up so easily. And I don't even think, you know, I was kind of trying to be careful. I even cut this on the bandsaw, and frankly, I don't even think it matters, you know, if you have a gap. Certain things that have patterns in them, you know, you really would rather take as little kerf as possible when you cut the blank in two, you know. If you take your standard kerf on a table saw, like 1/8 of an inch, I mean, that's a significant amount of that pattern that can be lost if you have something that has patterns flowing. But in this case, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think it matters that much. I mean, you may have a little bit of color differential, you know, with the colors, but I don't think it really matters that much. And it's easy to line up too. So kind of a cool little thing with these patterns. All right, I gotta wax this tool rest. Keeps getting hung up in the middle, and that makes for a bumpy pen. Just gonna lightly hit this. Oh, you guys are. Where's my camera crew? Everybody's at lunch. Just gonna quickly hit this with a little bit of 400 grit just to take out any nicks or anything like that that might be in this thing. Okay. And then I'm just going to hit it with a little bit of paste wax. I have, it's actually a microcrystalline, if we're going to be fancy about it. Renaissance. This stuff's really good. One of the things I like, it's really expensive, so, but it'll last forever for doing things like this. But what I like about it is it dries super fast. So it's a really good product to apply to something like this. Might even kind of, I don't know, it is microcrystalline. It may actually penetrate a little bit more than just a normal paste wax. I don't know. All you really need though is paste wax. Something slippery on there. And you'll have a much better time turning. Okay. Let's get back into this. Jen's here, what's up? DJ's here, what's up? Sweet. Who else is here? Yeah, they are gonna look like candy sticks. I know. They definitely do. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, joining a club, I mean, there's so many people that Nova's making changes. Yeah, it's the thing about Nova is it's the company, I think. I just, for many, many years now, there's just been issues with stuff. I don't know. I mean, they got decent chucks. You know, you can't really, I don't think anybody can complain. I don't like the fact that they, you know, the threads to tighten things are backwards. That just annoys the heck out of me, personally. So they got, you know, that's decent, but, and their lathes are all right, but I don't know, just, like I said, there seems to be a huge focus on the DVR motor, which is wonderful and all, they're great, but the rest of the machine is like an afterthought, and there's some weird stuff with the company that is questionable. So I don't know. I just felt like it was kind of a night and day difference. I had nothing but problems when I bought the Galaxy. Even the dealer was kind of like, yeah, I'm not surprised that there's problems. I was like, thanks a lot. Why didn't you just tell me to buy the Laguna in the first place? When I bought the Laguna, I mean, everything was smooth, you know. I don't know too many people that have had problems with their Lagunas. What I wish is that somebody would just buy out Nova and they would put those motors in a higher quality lathe. All right, let's see what's going on with these bushings and everything here. Looks like We got a little bit to take off down there. Tiny bit on this side maybe. It's looking pretty good. Are you guys, no, you're not zoomed in, okay. Okay, I think I like the shape now. Just try and smooth it out. And then it's time to sand. Everybody's favorite, sanding. Oh yeah. That is looking good. Look at that. These are really fun. These prints, I'm digging these. So many possibilities. I mean, these can work with like any kind of color combination. It's not like you're really limited in any way. All right. You get another piece of 400 grit. I used the last one to sand my tool rest. Don't really want to use that one on my blank. Already thrown it away anyway. Let's get this thing closer here. So again, I'm going to drop it down to 500. Oh, I've been missing the chat here. Fun cups. Pool barn one. Ooh, a cone shape, nice. Oh, pole barn. I was like, pool barn? What is this pool barn you're speaking of? Who's here? Phil? Phil, how's it going? You want to join Mystery Box Club? Well, I think there's at least one person that's going to probably cancel after the 6 months is done. Maybe a couple other people might too. You never know. But I will let everybody know the minute that there are mystery box openings. That's kind of a funky. I didn't do a very good job shaping this thing. There's kind of a weird bump in there. I don't like that at all. There we go. Had like a dip in it that I didn't see before. Sometimes you got to get up close and personal with your blanks, so you know what's really going on. Stupid phone, I know. Mine does that all the time too. The worst is when you're like trying to post something to like Instagram or wherever, and you don't notice until you're done. Of course, they don't tell you. You just made an idiot out of yourself on a post that everybody can see. You got to delete it and redo it. Oh my god! I really need to get in the habit of like writing descriptions and things in like a text editor. And then just copy and pasting it, because I get myself into trouble so many times. All right, I think we're done with the 400 grit. I'm gonna wipe it off with some alcohol. Denatured, of course. Don't want to waste the good stuff. There we go. Turn the dust collector off. We don't need that anymore. Get that out of the way even. All right, so let's get our ShamWow to protect these bedways. Not sponsored by ShamWow. I just think it's hilarious that I have ShamWows. And then we'll do a little bit of wet sanding. How about that? Tell you what, I'm getting hungry. Definitely lunchtime after this. Man, I was just running late today. I'm sorry about starting a little later than normal. I don't know, the time just thought I was actually doing good, and then I got here, had to set things up, and I'm like, oh, I totally didn't really get ready for noon. So 12:15, a little bit late, but at least I made it. Really wish my shop was near my house. That would be amazing. Then I could get things kind of like ready and then take care of the other stuff that I got to take care of at home and not have to drive 30 minutes. Steak and taters. I'm actually going to have chicken and vegetables for lunch. Hard-boiled eggs too. Packed with protein. Okay. And our gray Zona paper. You've been up since 2 a.m. Oh my goodness. Sounds like it's nap time then. Are you gonna plow through for the full thing? I mean, really, you only have about, well, I guess actually you have a few hours left. Goes till like 5 or 6. Thanks, Chris. Have a good time. Sorry you couldn't stay. All right, I think we're probably as good as we're going to get it here. I'll wipe it off. Pull out the magic juice. Zoom out a little bit here. How about that? You can see the full extent of my actions. You're in it for the duration. Oh man. Something cool for supper. Yeah. Salads are pretty good. AGK is here. What's up? We're just finishing up the second half of this pen. Time for the magic juice. This is where the magic happens. Okay, step 1. Let me get this thing going 2500. Okay. Step 1. So again, if you're just joining, I got some new tips on how to use this stuff. Pretty light pressure, and you also want to be using a rag or an application thing that's kind of soft. I was using paper towels that I think were a little bit on the rough side. Oh man, that's looking great already. Step 1 complete. Go to step 2. All right. Step 3. Yeah, the virtual craft fair, or festival, technically, I think. Those things are so much fun. I didn't know that was happening today. So I apologize if I'm keeping you from other ones, or if people couldn't make mine because of that. It's just one of those things, you know. I'm just glad there's lots of choices of content. For anybody's type of interests. Okay, step 4 coming up. I'm just thankful that it hasn't been very hot. I thought it was going to be really hot the last couple days, and it was, I mean, I got to be honest, fairly cool compared to, I don't know, like earlier on in the week, let's say. Like on Wednesday, so we did the stream at, started at like 3 p.m. my time. I mean, it was like 86 degrees by 3 o'clock, I'm pretty sure. Definitely by the end of the stream, it was 86 in the shop. And I mean, this week it's only 81 degrees right now. Not too bad. I'm like, all right, until it starts getting to like 82, 83. And then going up from there, I'm like, this is kind of warm. Especially if you're like doing something active. Once it gets above 80 in here, it's like, I'm sweaty. 105 in western Colorado, oh my God. That's not very fun. On Tuesday and Thursday, I went mountain biking up in Tahoe. Let me tell you, that was fabulous. 82 degrees. High, maybe 84, I don't know. It was just, I was like, I really need to move up here. But since I can't even afford living in the valley, I don't know that South Tahoe is really gonna happen. One day, maybe. Okay, final step, guys. Final step. Who's ready for the final step? I know I am. This thing's gonna look fabulous, I think. So again, this is a cigar pen kit that I decided to go with. I just have tons of them. I was thinking about doing this other kit, but I don't think that I have the bushings, and I mean, I could use calipers and all that. That's not really my favorite thing. I need to get there's a kit called Manager. I was gonna go for maybe a longer blank, you know, but I couldn't find bushings for that one either. I always forget to get bushings for certain things. Okay, so let's get you guys in here, take a peek at this thing. Oh man, it is, again, it looks like candy. It's so glossy. Wow. Looking good. Okay, get this thing off of there. Oh, sorry. Abrupt. Camera changes. Woo! Digging that. All right, so let's get the camera set up over here with the pen press and all that good stuff. One second while I get everything set up over here. I really do still like the vertical press method, but I haven't like gone back to it or anything because it's so much easier to get video with this one. And this one works pretty good for a horizontal. I could mount it vertically, but I've been fairly happy with this thing. It works pretty good. All right, so one more second and we'll be ready to go here. Another reason, a lot of times you'll see me put gloves on when I'm handling these things. One is just so like oils or anything like that, dirt doesn't get on it from my fingers. But another thing that's kind of nice about gloves a lot of times is it's a little bit like stickier. You don't like, so, you know, these things are pretty slippery at this point, and gloves can sometimes help a little bit with that. Give you a little bit more grip in some cases. All right, so we're just going to start with the back here. But I want to make sure that we have everything. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. This here. Okay. So first step. I decided to go with gold. I'm not usually a gold trim, you know, pen kit kind of person, but it seemed like it might look good on this one. I don't know. We're gonna move over to the other end real quick here. I want to get most of the stuff ready and then kind of figure out where I want to put that clip. These two parts don't matter. Yeah, I like that gold. That isn't too bad on this kit. I think it's the gold and that purple. Gold, and it's because of the colors that are in this blank. Gold and purple looks good. Gold and, I don't know about the teal necessarily, like if that's all it was. But gold and red, definitely. So I think it's looking pretty good in this kit. All right. That part done. Get our transmission screwed on. Drop in the ink. Transmission works. It's a little bit, it's not the greatest transmission. I think it just needed to be worked out a little bit. There we go. It's working pretty good now. All right, so yeah, so this is pretty cool because, I mean, it's very simple to line this up. You know, it's not, you know, there's not a lot going on here with the lineup. You don't even need to make marks on your blank or anything like that. Wow, this thing looks fabulous. Sorry, I just, ooh. I mean, frankly, I don't know that, ooh, I kind of like that actually. Kind of like this thing kind of cutting across those. I don't know. Definitely don't like that. Don't think that we need to, that's okay. What do you guys think? What position would you put the clip? I kind of like it kind of cutting through, personally. Or I kind of like this a little bit too, where it's kind of like going around it. Hopefully I'm on camera. I don't know if I was on camera. That or something like that. Is Chad going to SWAT? I'm not sure. I know the bushings and the trimmers and all this stuff with pens can be kind of a pain. Kim likes it going around it. Yeah. There's also some kind of up here, so it's kind of cutting through at the top. Anybody else have any opinion? I kind of like that, I think, as well. All right, we got 2 for a round, and I'm kind of leaning that way, so I think we're going to go for it. Let's do it. So I need to move this a little bit because I'm going to press it down. I need to. Hopefully that was good enough. Move the clip, I think, a little bit. Yeah, that's good. We're good. Perfect. All right, and then need to try and kind of line this up a little bit from up a little higher. I think maybe like, it is a little bit weird because you got to press it down. I can always fix it if I didn't. Oh, I did pretty good. Wow, look at that, guys. Did pretty good putting it together. They're lined up pretty well. Look at the starlight glitter in there. Man, I really like that. Good call on that, Kim. It was Kim, right? Kim did the blurple choice, I think. Yeah, that's a pretty, I'm pretty stoked about this pen. This is a pretty sweet pen. I think all of these are actually going to turn out pretty good. I'll show it for anybody that didn't see all of them. You can kind of see them right there, but I'm really, so these ones have the red, the pink and whites. I'm really happy with the way these turned out. You know, I got to be honest, after doing, you know, these and these ones, I really stay away from doing vertical pours usually. And I think I want to get more into that and get into making the longer ones for bespoke or, you know, kitless pens. But I'm really happy with the way these things turned out. Part of the thing is, because of these things being in the blank, you get a really good looking pour. I think it helps to kind of, you know, distribute the resin pretty good. But anyway, either way, we got pink and white, and these have red, helixes in them. These ones are red, and then we got garnet and gold, or red and gold. These are going to look fabulous, I think, as well. These three are the same as what we just did. And then how this came about, if you didn't see me casting these, so what these are just these, we did some solid colors first. So we got a kind of a light blue, a purple, a red, and that blurple mix. And then we just mixed them all together on the second pour to get these. So that's what colors these are. So not too bad. So these, we got, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4. We got actually one extra, but 10 of those are going to go into the mystery boxes. Eventually, and don't get all excited because this is a down the road sometime. I do have some extra blanks from that some of them, you know, we made on the stream, or, you know, we had one extra or something like that would have gone, we're supposed to go in the mystery boxes. So I'm probably going to have a box eventually of a bunch of stuff, maybe 1 or 2, of just random blanks from like throughout the year. So if anybody might be interested in that, I don't know how I'm going to do that, because I don't want to like toot my own horn, but I think probably there might be some people that are interested in picking one of those up. It'll just be like a full-on mystery box. Like, you're not going to know what's in it, but it'll have tons of different blanks, you know, handles and pen blanks from the streams, basically. So sometime I'm collecting things, and I might have 1 or 2 of those down the road sometime. I think what's going to happen is, if that happens, I'll just put a listing up on my website, and when I announce it, whoever's, you know, first come first serve kind of thing, because there's probably only going to be like 1 or 2 of those. But let's see here. Yeah, I know. Mike picked the gold. That was a really, it's just a I don't know what the word is. It just looks fancy, or I don't know, put together or something. Put together. Let's see. Oh, over the purple, centered between. Yeah, that's kind of what I did, sort of. Centered between the spirals. I don't know. I like it either way. Yeah, twist pens are a pretty good one for a Helix. That's true. Yeah, okay. So yeah, Kim did do the blurple with the starlight. The autocorrect. I know. It's no fun. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this thing come together. This was pretty sweet. This was a really good one. Again, big thank you to everybody that super chatted while we were casting these, and picked some amazing colors for these blanks. They turned out just amazing. All of them, like I said, even the solid colors, I think, are all going to look really good on these things. So we'll have to kind of see. It'll be kind of, that's what the mystery is, who gets which one in the mystery boxes. And like I said, if anybody, the way that the mystery box subscriptions work, just to make sure everybody knows, it's a 6-month commitment, basically. And so everybody that's signed up so far, there's only 10 spots. I don't know how many months more. I can't really look it up and get an answer really quick, but there's probably only about 2 months, maybe at the most, more on that initial subscription. And so there may be people that end up canceling. You know, the people that are in there can just renew if they want, but anybody that wants to cancel, you know, I'll let you guys know, and then it'll be available on my website if you guys, for anybody that wants to take over, you know, any of those spots. So, and if I have any extra stuff, I'm probably gonna, I have some extra prints. I really don't want to get in the selling the prints thing, because it's just, it's such a pain. I got to be honest, to do that. Everybody's going to want like specific colors, and it just kind of gets out of hand. So I'm not going to be selling prints, but I think what I might do is, I actually did print out some extras of these things, and I might make some more pen blanks and then put them up for sale for anybody that might want to grab one. I don't know that they're going to be the same colors or whatever, but might have those down the road too. I want to start getting into making more limited editions for people to pick up. So it's not just mystery boxes where you can get the extra ones that aren't in stock. But anyway, guys, I hope you have a really good rest of the afternoon. So just a reminder, next week's streams I've canceled. My mom's having surgery, and there's all kinds of things going on next week, and I need to get caught up on some things in the shop on top of other things that are going on. So I've decided to cancel next week's streams. We will be back the following Wednesday. I don't know what day that is. It'll be in August, I think. Yeah, so August 3rd is going to be the next live stream, and we'll do some casting, okay? So anyway, guys, I hope you have a great rest of the evening, like I said, and be looking for tomorrow. Big news, big announcement. The mystery box project is going to be posted, that video, and I am super excited about it. I think that it's a pretty good video, and the project was really fun, and I'm hoping that you guys enjoy that. So again, let me know in the comments of that video after you watch it if you liked it, if you enjoyed watching the mystery box thing, and what your thoughts, feedback are on the video. All right, so I think that's about all of the announcements. I'll just drop one more link into the chat here. If you want to pick up the 3D print file to the triple helix, that's available on my website for purchase, along with all the other prints that we've made so far. So I think that's about it. Oh, thanks, Mark. I appreciate it. Yeah, and Kim, thank you. Yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty simple thing, but she's, a few years up in age, so anytime the word surgery comes up, we're like, ugh. So I think it'll be pretty decent. It's just like a foot surgery thing. So anyway, guys, yeah, Gretchen's coming home tonight. She was out of town for a week, so it'll be nice to have a proper meals for dinner back, because I suck at cooking. So it's always nice when she comes home, and of course just to see her. But I always think with my stomach first. So anyway, guys, have a great evening. I will see you guys in the comments of the video for the mystery box tomorrow, and I hope you have a good rest of the weekend. I'll see you guys on the next live stream.